Hey everyone, what's going on? It's so good to see you this evening. What's up, other that guy? What's up, Pam? Sagittari? How are y'all doing? It's so good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. The song to start was called Great White Shark by a band called Big Thief. Harvey says hi too. Hey Harvey. Yeah, that's right. How about I just let him commentate and I just show you the pictures I took? Wouldn't that be fun? I'm sure no one would complain. Sure it wouldn't be violating TOS in any way. Yeah, he's like, no man, don't do it. I want you to get banned. Hey. Tense, thank you so much for the 9 months resub. And thank you, Sagittarius, for the Twitch Prime sub tonight. Thank you. You like the new emotes? The new Yikes emote is like the least effort I've ever put into anything in my life, pretty much. And it kind of perfect. I kind of like it a lot. So I'm happy with that. There's even some, if you really want to waste your money, there's some really, I finally made a tier 2 and tier 3 sub, or emote rather. So that's kind of cool too. There's like a really like ragey kind of face and then like a rare golden KY. So you can just come in with maximum swag. So yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, I like it a lot. I just want to use it over and over. And it's kind of works together when you spam it. Like it's just really good. All right, so today we're going to be recapping some PAX. I almost said Twitch Prime. What I meant to say was PAX South. I went to PAX South over the weekend and had a really good time. I mean, got to see a lot of great games. I feel like PAX South is never quite as good as PAX East. I haven't been to any of the other PAXs, but this one was still a pretty good one. It's gotten a lot better over the years since PAX South started. And there were a lot of good games I'm going to talk about. I also got to meet some cool people. I wanted to thank Pam and chat. We ended up splitting a hotel room, so that was good. Very good on my wallet. And we got to play some Isaac. It was really fun. And I got to meet KB Marin, who is in chat sometimes. I don't think she's in chat tonight, but got to see her at the con. That was really cool. Got to meet a lot of good game devs and things like that. As well as got to play or at least watch some games. So I think the way I wanted to do this stream, in addition to taking questions about certain games, if y'all have any, and sharing my impressions of them, was I think it'd be fun, because you know my hard-on for trailers, I think it'd be fun to go over a game, talk about my experience with it, and then also just show a trailer for that game. So like just a little mini like KY conference here of the indie games that I felt were noteworthy, or at least I saw and snapped a quick picture of with my shitty phone camera. So yeah, without further ado, PAX South, by the way, took place in San Antonio, Texas, which is one of the maybe 3 tolerable places in the whole state of Texas. I kind of like San Antonio. I still think I like Austin a little bit more. But San Antonio's got a cool vibe. It's got a cool river walk and stuff. And it's pretty good. Great tacos pretty much anywhere you go. So that's good. Texas is all about tacos pretty much anywhere you go. Even the fucking Dairy Queens here, you get a free taco with your order, which is really bizarre. So me being the indie shill I am, it's time to shill out some of the indie games I saw. So the first of which is being developed by a studio called Phenomena, which is, I believe, led by Robin Hunicke, who worked on Journey. And they partnered with Annapurna Interactive, who's been publishing some really good games, most notably Florence from last year, which was one of my favorite games of 2018. If you haven't played Florence yet, you got to go back and you got to play Florence. It's on phones. I think it's just on phones, actually, but it's good. It's real good. So Watson here, which has been in development for a number of years now, is actually the new game from the original conceiver of Katamari Damacy, if you know that game, which I'm sure most of you do. And I didn't get to play it because the Annapurna booth was kind of packed, but I did get to watch. I apologize about the terrible screenshot there. In fact, most of the screenshots, I couldn't find a good action shot. But the problem with not playing it, especially from the top of the demo, is it looked great. It had that kind of like Katamari like cuteness and bizarreness to it that really gives Katamari, I guess, its quirkiness and its like I don't know what word I'm looking for. I'm looking for a certain word, but it's same exact kind of like quirky style that Katamari has. As far as gameplay goes, I've got no fucking clue what this is about. From what Pam told me, because she got a chance to play it, she said that you're apparently like a little guy who is alone on a planet, and you're lamenting that you're alone until you find out you're not alone, and then you find more buddies, and buddies come out of buddies and stuff. The part I saw was watching this guy, and I don't know if you can tell. Can I zoom in on this? Is zooming a thing? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You see that mayor there? I believe that mayor is a golden poop. And there was a toilet. And I guess the little poops walked around and you could climb onto the toilet and flush them. And it was just very bizarre. It was really tough to kind of understand at all what was going on from an outsider perspective. But I guess if I had played it, it would have made a lot more sense. If you loved Katamari for its like quirky charm, I guess that's a great word. There you go. Other that guy. Then this is going to provide that. I'm not the only, I guess the pessimist in me is a little worried for it. I'm not sure if it's going to catch on. Cause you know, Katamari, here's a hot take for you. You ready? You're going to hate me. Katamari is an amazing game. As far as gameplay, the charm, the music, the aesthetics, I love Katamari, but like 90% of its success and the reason that it was able to catch on was because it had a really good gameplay hook. When people pitch Katamari to each other, hey dude, you gotta come over and check out this game, they don't say, oh, because it's so quirky and Japanese and weird, necessarily. Usually it's more about the ball rolling, like that hook, you know, the hook that you're rolling a ball and it has that really, really hooky core gameplay kind of thing going on. Watam, although it has that same quirkiness, doesn't feel like, or it doesn't look like it has a strong hook the way that Katamari has a really strong basic hook with its gameplay. So that makes me kind of worried about it. I mean, obviously I hope it does well, because man, that's one mind we don't want to lose in this industry. So we're going to watch a trailer for Watam. Let's do that real quick. This is the most recent trailer I could find, published about a year and a half ago. For a PAX back then. So let's watch this. Yeah, it's weird. It definitely has that same kind of charm. If you like that from Katamari, you're probably going to get that out of this as well. So that's Watam from the creators, or the original mind behind Katamari Damacy. Let's see. Next was a game called Outer Wilds that I played. Oh, why are you going to unfollow me? Don't do that. I would love for you to stay. Outer Wilds is kind of an open world solar system exploring kind of game. I don't know who you are. Oh, okay, that's fine. You can leave. Bye. Thanks for coming in, though. I appreciate it. So basically, Outer Wilds that I played, once again, a terrible screenshot, but it's basically an open world universe, or not even a universe, just a solar system, where you start on a planet and you are basically an avatar, like a blue alien avatar, on a planet of other avatars. And basically you kind of explore the planet for a minute, and you discover that you're going to go set out into the solar system to explore and discover its mysteries. And like all the on-planet gameplay was actually kind of bored me. Like the planet was pretty, but there was a lot of dialogue, a lot of really kind of inconsequential dialogue, and I was kind of not feeling it at first. Until I got into the spaceship. And when you get into the spaceship, it's like a literally seamless transition from planet level to outer space level. No, I am not from Vinesauce. Sorry. It kind of goes from planet to outer space seamlessly. So you get into the spaceship, you take off, and then you're off the planet, and you can literally fly to any other planet in the solar system. And it's that's when kind of the game really picks up, because you can go anywhere you want. When you land on a solar system or on a planet, it doesn't automatically land for you. You actually need to like engage the systems of the ship. You need to switch to like a landing kind of a view and like make sure that you're landing smoothly in a place where your ship won't get destroyed. And once you land on the planet, you're free to explore it, and each planet has its own kind of like lore and mysteries, and it will kind of keep track of those things on a log. The other really appealing thing about this, besides the exploration, was just the gadgets and stuff. It's all very, from a visual design, very kind of consistent and really interesting, with like the alien technology that you're using, and you can kind of see it from the still in the picture here. Like the translation machine that the character's using, and the little 3D mini map, which is cool. It's neat. I really enjoyed it a lot, even though like the writing was kind of hit or miss, especially on the home planet. The exploration part of it was very compelling. The planet I landed on first was basically an oceanic planet. First you fly into the atmosphere, and then you realize that the planet, it looks like you're going to crash until you realize it's a cloudy planet, I guess Jupiter. And then you're down on the rock, the actual rock part of the planet, and there's tornadoes everywhere. It's like a big ocean with a couple islands and a bunch of tornadoes. And you find alien technology and like walkways that in this submerged place that changed the gravity. And then a tornado hit that area I was in and threw me off the planet. Like literally the thing I was on, and fell back down to it. Man, it's a really wild game. No pun intended. So Outer Wilds was close to my game of the show. It was between this and one other one that I'll talk about later. But let's see if there's a good trailer for Outer Wilds. I'm pretty sure there was one at one of the recent gaming cons. So this one was 10 months ago. Here's an actual demo, but I mean, I'm sure there's someone talking over it. Outer Worlds, which is not quite the same. Yeah, this is one we're on. You can see it's been in development since at least 2013. But let's watch this reveal trailer that came out about a year ago. Also, Annapurna Interactive, by the way. These guys are really killing it as far as publishers go. I'll be right back. That marshmallow, by the way, just as a side note, you actually control that. That's not just like a cutscene part. Like you literally pick up the stick and you get some controls as to like how you control the stick, and you actually blow off the marshmallow and eat it and stuff. Just like little touches. There's a lot of little touches like that. This was actually the planet I was on in the demo. But there were like 6 of them. Yeah, you could kind of see the planet with the tornadoes I talked about. I could, in the demo, as far as I could tell, I could land on any planet I wanted. So much for that. The music was very, in the trailer there, is very indicative of the actual in-game music. I do want, what the hell is this? Do want to, yeah, I completely lost my train of thought after seeing that thumbnail at the end. What is this? What is this? So basically the music in the trailer was very much the same exact kind of vibe from the music in the actual game. Like, that wasn't just trailer music. Like, you kind of get some like guitar and some banjo, some weird kind of like folky stuff mixed with the sci-fi. And I think the success of the game, or at least in my mind, like if I'm gonna enjoy it or not, really depends on how well they craft like the mysteries and the lore. The exploration's already spot on. Like, they could just not touch that and it's already great. But there is definitely a lot of hinting at a much larger lore and connectedness and mystery to it. And given the quality of the writing on the home planet, I'm kind of scared how that's going to come together. But yeah, this is one to definitely watch out for. I'm really excited for this. I think the next several were much smaller games that I won't be talking about as much. Yeah, there's a couple that I didn't play that I kind of looked at, just took a quick picture and moved on. You're going to notice a theme in the next probably 4 or 5 pictures, the next 2 or 3 games. Tesseractive, this kind of looked like a little basic 2D puzzle platformer where you flip the environment, that kind of thing. Hang on, I'm going to come back to Soul. That compared to Negative World, this black and white thing, compared to the rabbit and the owl, you'd probably see the theme here. And that there's, for some reason, a lot of kind of like two-colored or two-tone or duality style puzzle platformers coming out. And it's kind of weird. So there's a few of those, and I took pictures of them. Soul, which someone tweeted at me about, and I didn't want to say anything on the Twitter because it would have been kind of rude, and if you're here, you're going to have to forgive me. I was not too impressed with Soul. First off, and this is just me being a judgmental prick, but the banner in the background reminds me of Rhyme. Like, to me, it's like the same font, it's the same backdrop of the tower with like the sunset and stuff. It's totally Rhyme. Like, the background's just Rhyme. Even the gameplay kind of looked like Rhyme, but instead of being a character, you were just a wisp. You're like a little sole of a shoe, I guess, or I guess because you're the soul being, like you're the soul thing. I don't know. It's probably obviously a double entendre, but it just reminded me of Rhyme. I didn't really see too much going on as far as puzzles, but I might have just also been watching at the wrong time. I didn't get a chance to play it myself, but I did watch for a while, and I watched for like 5 minutes and didn't see much as far as puzzles go. Maybe it gets better. I don't know, but I wasn't too impressed by it. Negative World, this one I wasn't actually even going to take a picture of, but it does have one kind of cool twist. I guess the main mechanic is that you get a limited number of jumps per level, and you can see a number above the character's head as to how many jumps you have left, which sounded kind of like, like, okay, I get it. But one thing I liked about it was that there's also kind of a math twist. So, like, the number on your head is like an X variable. And then if, say, for the platform on the left, if that number is divisible by 2, then that platform is active. Or like the platform on the right, if that is greater than 3, if the number of jumps you have left is greater than 3, then that platform is active. So like different things in the world are active depending on the number of jumps you have left. If it's divisible by 2, it's on. If it's not divisible by 2, it's off. So I thought that was kind of like a pretty clever thing. Like, it was fairly genuine new kind of mechanic. It looked really basic, but you know, given that it's just the first world, I think there's a lot of potential there. I'm kind of interested. Weirdly reminds me of Baba's You. I could see that with just kind of some of the metagaming. How are you doing, Steph? Good to see you. Hey, Mem, what's up? Robin the Owl, once again, another black and white platformer. This one's kind of just very similar to Ib and Ob, if you played that, where there's a rabbit and there's an owl. One's black, one's white, and you use the opposite color as your platforms. So like the owl, who's black, can only stand on black platforms, and the rabbit stands on white platforms, and you cooperate to solve puzzles. Kind of straightforward concept. It looked nice. It was confusing to watch. Once again, did not get to play it, which kind of sucks. But yeah, kind of neat. If that's your shindig. There's my terrible up close picture of it. Road Redemption, I thought this was just funny. I just like turned my head at it. It just looks like a really awful Road Rage knockoff, so I had to just snap a picture of it. Nice. And kind of reminded me of like a Cave Story, but less like cohesive in its visual style. I don't know. It just doesn't feel quite right yet, but maybe it will get there. But just basically like a Cave Story, like, if I had to say anything about it. So here's one that I'm sure some of you recognize. This is from Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove, which I never played a Toejam and Earl game. Something I didn't realize for a really long time is that Toejam and Earl, the original one, was actually a roguelike, which is really interesting, or it kind of maybe like the original roguelite, but it has a lot of roguelike mechanics, from like randomly generated map, going down in like a dungeon format where you need to go X number of levels deep, unidentified items that you need to use in order to identify them, some of which are good, some of which are bad, permadeath. It's actually, it's actually a roguelike by most definitions, and the new Toejam and Earl made me... It basically seems like it just took that design and just kept it going and expanded on it. To me, it looks like what Spelunky HD was to Spelunky Classic. That's what the new Toejam and Earl looks like. I've never played it. I should go back and play it at some point, being a roguelike fan. I should go back and play Toejam and Earl. I know Hootie's a big fan, and he's streamed it before. And I watched it. I had no idea what was going on, but it looked really fun. It's got a great style, great humor, some excellent slap bass on the soundtrack. Tell you what, let's watch a trailer for this one, just for funsies. Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove trailer. Let's see, 1 month ago. There you go. We have a recent trailer.
Look, T-O to the E, jamming on the beat, and now with Big Earl, make them stand to their feet. Crash landed on a strange planet, trying to find the pieces, but this place is gigantic. Running from the bees and dodging all the moles. Somebody tried to run me over with a lawnmower. Maybe all they need's a little funk. Maybe that's all they need. Give them that funk. Biggie, tell them. Feel the funk. Maybe that's all they need. Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove, an all-new adventure game from 1991.
Looks pretty good. I like the kind of like Nickelodeon style graphics here. It reminds me of Rocko's Modern Life, if you ever watched that show back then, or Ren and Stimpy, with the kind of like weird spiky backdrop to all the text, totally that style, and the super funky soundtrack. Mim asked, did I eat lots of yummy food? I did. Mostly I had breakfast tacos, and I had some dinner tacos. I had some pizza tacos. I drank some taco water. And yeah, had a taco snack. No, but really, so yeah, I mean, it was half tacos, but I also had a great pizza place, if you're ever in San Antonio, called Il Forno, which does kind of more like Italian style pizza, and it was pretty legit. I thought it was great. So that's gonna be my food rec of San Antonio, and a Whataburger. Go eat some burgers, get a taco. So next game. Okay, so this game, some of you have probably seen screenshots and trailers and tweets and other kind of rumblings of it. It's called Hypnose Space Outlaw. I loved this demo. It's hipster as fuck, so of course it really appealed to me. But the gist behind Hypnose Space Outlaw, which this was being displayed on an actual CRT TV. They had like a normal laptop too, so you could see it more clearly. The idea behind Hypnose Space Outlaw is that it's in a time where when you go to sleep, I guess this is an alternate 1999 where you go to sleep and in your dreams you browse the web, and it's called the Hypnose Space. And you are tasked as like a Hypnose Space inspector or enforcer to basically browse this weird sleep web kind of place, and to basically like crack down on people who are infringing on copyright, harassing other people. And then when you basically you choose a certain piece of thing, it just deletes it straight from the page. And it's kind of, the aesthetic is definitely that early 90s internet GeoCities kind of thing, and it's really authentic with that, with nailing that as far as like the shitty GIFs go, and the text was just super well written. And it's a game where if you don't read what you're supposed to do, you're probably just gonna be fucking lost. You're just gonna be kind of browsing this weird alternate internet, and even still, I bet you would have a great time with it. But if you do read the text and kind of figure out what you're supposed to do, and you're actually like cracking down like you're supposed to, it's very similar. It's very much in the vein of like a Papers, Please, where it's like all mouse based and there's a real authentic kind of interface going on. And man, it is so good. It's by the developer of Dropsy. If you remember my stream at Dropsy or played Dropsy. And I adored this game. This was great. This was actually, I think, my game of the show. I debated between this and Outer Wilds, which I liked a lot, but at the end of the day, this game is right up my alley. And if you had to ask me the game that, other than Dicey Dungeons, because I was at PAX, that I liked the most, it was Hypnose Space Outlaw. I love this. So yeah, really cool. Yeah, Dicey Dungeons, as a side note, was at PAX as well. I got a sweet pin. I got to meet Chipsel, who you know is the composer of Super Hexagon, VVVVV, Interstellaria. Shit, what else did she do? She did Octahedron, which is a newer game I haven't played. But yeah, you probably know her. And I got to meet her and like nerded out a little bit, so that was cool. Yeah. Dropsy wasn't that scary. Dropsy was adorable. So next game, with this beautiful actual title screen. I did not make this in Paint. Literally, no, I mean I didn't. This was actually the title screen. It's called Ultra Bugs, from a studio called Vlambeer, who made games like Nuclear Throne, Luftrausers, Super Crate Box. So I'm sure that some of you know Vlambeer, which is two-person studio. And this new game is very kind of minimal and arcadey. This is kind of what it looks like. I took a couple of screenshots, and it's kind of hard to tell what's going on. Oh, I meant to show a Hypnose Space trailer. I'll do that after this. So anyway, it's very much like... It's less like Nuclear Throne, which is much larger game and much more small and compact and much more like Luftrausers. So the gist of it is you're on a very small screen and you choose a ship, and each ship is a different like shooting style, and it's like top-down kind of thing. And you shoot these bugs, and when you shoot the bugs, they multiply, like they explode into corpses, and then anywhere like the Gibbs land, a new bug spawns. So the bugs are just endlessly spawning, and the different bugs have like kind of different abilities that shoot off different kind of projectiles that you gotta dodge. So it's kind of like an action bullet hell like score attack kind of game. Kind of reminded me of Devil Daggers a little bit in a way, because it's just strictly, at least at this point, a score attack thing. Whereas like Luftrausers had a lot of different goals and stuff, but it's also very early in development, so it might change down the road. I couldn't find any videos of gameplay or anything, otherwise I'd probably make a lot more sense. But that's the new Vlambeer game, Ultra Bugs, which I hope they just keep this title screen because it's pretty sweet. I like it. Before we continue, I said I would show a Hypnose Space trailer. Hypnose Space Outlaw trailer. 9 months ago. Oh yeah, that had a Kickstarter, so it's kind of cool. And apparently Vinny streamed this at some point. I had no idea. I got to go back and try to find that VOD because I'd love to see what he thought. I'd love to see what he got to see that I didn't, because I only had like about 10 minutes with it, and I'm sure he had a much longer time. I've also met the developer. I met Jay in person. He's very, very short. That's my main impression of him. No, he's actually a great guy. He's super nice, like so easy to talk to. Really cool dude. I like Jay a lot. All right, so let's watch the Hypnose Space Outlaw trailer.
Professor Helper here, ready to help.
Important message received.
Coming out in 2018. Yeah, man, I can't stress enough how, like, just so well done it is. How authentic the game looks, like how well done it is. Like, Jay just did such a great job on all the visuals and the videos and stuff. The music, yeah, the music's really cute, but it's also, like, really well written. Like, man, just so good. I just really can't wait for that game. I'm excited. See what the final thing is like. So yeah, that was Hypnose Space Outlaw. Disjunction, I just wanted to snap a quick picture of this because it looked kind of interesting. Kind of a cyberpunky, Metal Gear Solid-y kind of thing. Where you get a couple of tools, depending on which character you choose, and you take people out. Really kind of straightforward affair, but, you know, it looked fun. So I took a picture. That's the art. This one was so doofy, I had to try it and take a picture. It wasn't exactly great. It's called Inner Friend. And Inner Friend, man, how do you describe Inner Friend? So basically, like, you control this, like, mannequin, right? Or this, like, little ghost boy or girl, I guess. And as you run through a scenario, which, like, the one I went to takes place in a barber shop or a salon or something. There's also a high school, apparently. I don't know. And you run through, and your body slowly starts to disappear. And the way you regenerate your body is by breaking mirrors, I guess. Like, you walk up to a mirror, and you press the action key, and the mirror shatters, and then your body regenerates. And you do that, and you run through this kind of labyrinthian hair salon. Not kidding. It's actually a hair salon. Like, the level is called Hair Salon. And eventually it's very Amnesia in a way, or Soma, in that, like, a weird monster spawns and will chase you around. You need to try to route in the room away because it's faster than you, in a way that's, like, gets caught up in the environment and can't follow you. And you find, like, the mirrors you got to break. I don't know. It's really strange. What was I going to say? And then the end had a strange cutscene after I broke all the mirrors, where I warped into the body of, like, a real life kid, and there was, like, a dead, like, bird or something, and he handed the bird to another kid, and the kid, like, hid it under his crib. Or I might be also thinking of Bandersnatch and getting it confused, but hey. Yeah, really, really weird game called Inner Friend, which I do want to see if there's a trailer for this, just to try to convey how strange it is. I can't even say it was great, really. I can't even say it was very good. There's walkthroughs, I guess. Is this game out? Might be out. Maybe. But, yeah. Really odd. Really odd game. I guess I should type in the word trailer here. There you go. Here's a trailer. Let's watch it. It's a Tuscan Sand Raider. Did you see him? Yeah, I don't know. The trailer makes it look a lot cooler than it actually is. September 6th? Oh, so it is out. Okay. Yeah, I guess they were just showing it at the con. So, yeah, that one's out if you're interested. I didn't care for it too much, to be honest with you. But that's okay. Maybe you will care for it more than I did. Can I please full screen this? Maybe. There we go. What else is there? Gamer Goo. This stream brought to you by Gamer Goo. Just goo up when you gotta hold that controller. So basically, Gamer Goo, I had to try this. It's sweat reducing, it's grip improving, it's energy enhancing hand goo. And it came in 3 different scents. There's peppermint, there's cinnamon, and there was orange. And don't tell anyone, but it works. It actually works. I couldn't believe it. Like, I'm ready to become a sponsor for these people. If you're watching the stream, Gamer Goo Studio, whatever your name is, like, I will sponsor your product. It works. Like, the guy was like, "You want to try this?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "No." We're like, "Really? You should try it." I was like, "Okay." So he asked me what flavor I wanted or what scent. And I said peppermint. And he grabbed his little green bottle and he squirted it in my hand. It just said, just rub it together. And 30 seconds later, once it dries up, your hands will be more grippy, be less sweaty, and you'll feel pretty good. I was like, okay. So like I rub it into my hands and it's disgusting. It feels horrendous. Like I immediately regretted the Gamer Goo and trying out this Gamer Goo. And so like I'm walking along the con with like deep regret in my heart, and about, like he said, 30 seconds in, it dries up, and I never felt like so grippy before. Like I was goddamn Spider-Man. I could have climbed the wall. Like it just immediately, my hands felt like less clammy, just like sweat gone. I couldn't believe it. I was just shocked at how well it worked for such a shitty name with such a shitty angle. Gamer Goo, it worked. It really worked. Like really, really impressed by Gamer Goo. So yeah, check it out. It's, you know, surprisingly good. If you ever find yourself with really sweaty hands and you just wanted them to feel like sandpaper, Gamer Goo is a way to do it. So, stream brought to you by Gamer Goo. So this next one is called Nest Maker. Which I didn't get to see for too much, but I thought it was novel enough. I wanted to grab a picture of it. As far as I could tell, it's basically like a Game Maker kind of engine, which the interface looks just like Game Maker in a way. But it actually makes like real NES ROMs. They even had like little cartridges that I guess you could load the ROM onto. I don't know if that means that you could actually load them into legit NES, but they're shaped like NES cartridges. So yeah, really, really interesting. So I don't know much more about it than that. I'm sorry I didn't research more. But yeah, did I grip him? After I walked away, it'd been too long, but I would have gripped him if he was still there, if it had dried quicker. Maybe for Gamer Goo 2.0. Gamer Goo 2. So yeah, that was Nest Maker. I guess if you like making games and stuff, just watch out for that. So here's one I had not a lot of mixed feelings, but like basically it's a cute little puzzle platformer called A Fold Apart, which is funny. The guy's opening line to me when I approached a booth, he said, "Hey, you like puzzle games?" I was like, oh man, do I? I just sprung a big rubbery one, and he handed me the controller, and I played this game called A Fold Apart. Which his pitch was also equally terrible in the sense that he said, this is a game about a long distance relationship. I was like, and then he said, you fold the paper in order to put the platforms together. And I was like, oh, you should have opened with that one, man. But anyway, so a fold apart is kind of what it sounds like. It looks great. It feels great. You basically, it's kind of like Paper Mario-y in a way that you're controlling this dude on a paper and it's 2D and the visuals are nice. Did I mention that it looks good? It does look very good. And you fold back the paper in different ways in order to manipulate the environment to go where you want to go. Here was the big kicker, and why I couldn't like judge this too accurately was the demo was literally just a tutorial. Like, it teaches you how to move around. It teaches you how to fold, and you do one basic folding puzzle. It teaches you how to unfold. Then you do another fold puzzle that you're, again, directed with, and then the demo ends. And it's like, this has such potential for deeper mechanics. And the guy even said, he was like, oh yeah, there's more to it, to that. You can fold on a diagonal, you can flip it, you can do this and that. So I don't doubt that it gets deeper. But the demo, man, did not do the potential mechanics justice. So I hope the next demo introduces some controls and stuff, and then like actually gives you a couple levels to try to figure out on your own, because this demo did not let you do that. But the game looked and sounded so good and has such potential that let's see if there's a trailer for it. A fold apart trailer. Let's see. 1 month ago. There you go. Once again, long distance relationship. Yeah, it's definitely a kind of a feel-good game. One part of the trailer there that you might have caught that was a little bit confusing was there's a part that says a couple you can relate to. And then the trailer, all that appears to happen is his or her hair just gets longer and different. So it's not really well telegraphed, but what they meant by that was at the beginning of the demo, it actually lets you choose the couple. So you can choose male and male, female, female, male, female, and I think there's a non-binary option. So if like that appeals to you and you want that kind of representation, that's also really cool that they did that in the game, and that definitely impressed me. So pretty neat. That way, no matter what your, I guess, gender orientation is, that you can hopefully immerse yourself in the game a little bit better. So kind of neat. But yeah, I'm just excited to see like what the mechanics are like. I want to see more. Even the trailer here just shows most of that trailer was in that little tutorial demo, which tells me that there's probably not a ton of game. I could be wrong, but I just really hope that there's a lot to it, more than what was in the demo and more than what's in that trailer. So we'll see. This one you've probably seen the trailers for. It's called Ape Out. It comes out next month. It's been in development for a hot second, published by Devolver Digital. I'm just gonna show a trailer because I feel like the trailer speaks for itself with this game. So let's watch that. God damn, how does it look so good? It's not even that far away. That's like, what, 2 weeks maybe? Ah, I'm excited for that. It looks so goddamn fun. Particularly the soundtrack is really stand out, if you ask me. Just that kind of like super jazzy drums where like every action kind of is in line. The sound effect is in line with whatever song is playing there. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm definitely going to play that. Tunic, which I think you all probably saw at E3. It used to be a different name. I played it like 3 years ago or so at Fantastic Arcade, and it was called like Secret Legend, or something like that, but they changed the name to Tunic, and it's definitely a lot more polished than it was 3 years ago, but the demo seemed very similar to the demo that I played back then, and it looks really cute. It's published by the people who publish Night in the Woods, which is Finji. The people who are going to be actually developing Overland, which I've streamed a few times, and that is Tunic. So let's watch a quick trailer for that. Is anyone sick of the trailers yet? Oh yeah, it's launching exclusive on Xbox One to start, I'm pretty sure. So that's a bummer, but what can you do? I like that they stuck with the made-up language for the actual, like, text crawl in the trailer. Very kind of Zelda-like. Then there's this guy. Very kind of Zelda-like. The same thing where whenever I see a trailer where the demo, like the trailer is comprised 90% of the same exact portion that is in the demo, that always worries me because it's always like, wait, is it just like a really small game kind of thing? I've actually had that happen. I'm trying to remember what game it was. It was something I even played pretty recently where I was like, all the parts of this game were in the trailer. Man, or maybe it was a movie. I don't remember. Right now, it's going to be an Xbox console exclusive to start, but then later, I assume it will be coming to Steam and maybe PS4. Don't you just love this screenshot? I'm really, really a visionary photographer. Wilmot's Warehouse. I wanted to give this one a quick special mention because I loved this game. It was in the Humble treasure trove. So if you're subscribed to the Humble Monthly, you can actually play this right now, and it's very, very good. It's a game about organization and OCD. And apparently, I didn't realize this, or maybe it was always like this and I just never realized, but this is also now being published by Finji. And me as kind of like a puzzly emergent gameplay kind of guy, I really had to give this one a shout out because it was a pleasure seeing it there and knowing that it's still being developed and kind of growing into something bigger. It's a game where you pretty much just run a warehouse and you get to organize that warehouse however you want. It starts in just a big empty space, you know, some pillars, and then a truck comes in and just unloads a ton of stuff. And then it's up to you how you want to organize that stuff, and you have a limited amount of time to do it before customers come and start to ask you to grab that stuff, also in a limited time. So it all really hinges on how well you organize your warehouse, how quickly you can fulfill orders. This one probably has a trailer too, I wonder. Wilmot's Warehouse trailer. Hey, there's a trailer. I didn't realize there was a trailer. Let's watch a trailer. The cleverness of the design here, the visual design, just really gets me here. It reminds me a lot of how I felt when I first played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, just with how like perfect and simple the design was, where you have colors, so you can organize things by colors, but then each object has a symbol in it that has other meanings. Like it might be like in the tutorial I saw in the PAX demo this weekend. Basically, it has you organize things by color, so you have blue on the left and then yellow on the right. Then it tells you to organize those same objects by cold versus warm. And it's like you put the sun on the right and like an igloo on the left. And it kind of just like opens up that like mind space of like, okay, I have like several different ways I can organize these things. And it's really, really, really fun. When I played this from the Humble Monthly, which once again, you might have access to this. If you're part of the Humble Monthly, you could probably play this already. But when I played it, man, I played it for like 6 hours straight. I just couldn't stop. It is so satisfying if you like to organize stuff. Man, Boyfriend Dungeon. So this one, it's actually from a studio I really like called Kitfox Games, who is known for Shattered Planet, which was a roguelike, known for Shrouded Isle, which some of you probably saw me stream, where it was that kind of green and black two-tone game where you're sacrificing people that I streamed. I did one off of. And now they've mashed up what's essentially Dream Daddy with dungeon crawling, so that your weapons turn into very sexy men and some women. I think there is at least one woman in the game, and you basically date your weapons and you level them up in dungeons. What could go wrong? It's really, really smart idea. It's very timed well because of Dream Daddy's success. God, I hope my housemate's not listening to me right now. And yeah, it looks great. I didn't get to play it. The line for it was huge. And I think it's going to be pretty successful. It's just such a good, like, interesting mashup. And the people at Kitfox are awesome. They just make really thoughtful and interesting games. And they usually have some kind of roguey edge to them. So, like, hey, how could I not like that? Once again, fantastic screenshot on my part. Let's watch a trailer instead. Boyfriend Dungeon trailer. There's actually a lot of trailers, I think. Let's do the announcement teaser. How about that?
Hunting, I'm on the lookout for something. I'm lonesome, but I feel alive. God's love is standing on my time. I don't know why I keep carving out space for more. I've learned to keep a careful eye. Let it break down all the doors. Loving you is more. And now I gotta open. Loving you is more.
There's a cat in there. Did you see it? There was a cat. Let's see if we can see the cat. What is a bop? Yeah, it's a very... Oh, can I not slow it down? Here we go. We're going to see this cat. Equip their love. There's a goddamn cat. And now it's turned into an Imogen Heap song when you slow it down that much. That's also kind of cool too. What a good feature. Yeah, and the main person of Kitfox, I guess like the lead, the CEO or whoever, who's Tanya Short, she has actually contributed a lot to like kind of the roguelike community. Like she co-authored a book with Tarn Adams from Dwarf Fortress about procedural generation. So just from a roguelike background, they have that kind of big status in my heart. So yeah, that looks kind of cool. It looks, you know, clever. I'm sure it's gonna be fun. It's just a stupid weapon dating game. Yeah. What you say? That you only meant well. This one I didn't get to see long, and I wanted to play it. man, you know, it's funny because I thought I got to play a lot more games this year than I did previous years, and I did. But I don't know. Maybe I should have really been more patient, because a lot of times I'd stand around for 5 or 10 minutes and I'd be like, and move on. This game is called World of Horror, which I couldn't gather too much about other than it kind of has, excuse me, the style of like a really old school adventure game from like the DOS days, you know, or the Macintosh days, where it's kind of that Obra Dinn 2-bit style graphics and dithering with some like tech stuff. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't gather too much about it, but it looks kind of cool. So I took a picture just because I wanted to remember it more than anything. I didn't really get to learn too much about it. Maybe there's a trailer. Or trailer. Here we go. 5 months ago. Let's watch this trailer. See ya, Stickner. Oh, you know what? I think this is still it. Yeah. There we go. Oh, it's on itch? You can play this on itch? Oh, I'm streaming this. It looks neat. Isbrid Games is the name of the studio. Looks cool. If there's a demo on itch, you can bet your ass I'm going to be streaming it really soon, now that I know that that's available on itch. And then my last photo of the night was this band. I think they're called Knights of the Round. They were playing a rendition of the Final Fantasy VI Terra's theme, with some really questionable vocals over it. Like, I was listening, kind of watching and enjoying it. Like, they're kind of like a metal, like it's kind of a light metal group that covers video game songs, maybe even just Final Fantasy songs. And they're playing. I'm like, yeah, this is really good. And then the singer comes in with like a totally unrelated to the written themes melody. It was still worked. Like, it worked fine. The lyrics were fine. The singing was good. It was just weird. I don't know. I wasn't sure how I felt about the vocals, but still really cool. Cool band. And that's actually all the pictures I took. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that happened at PAX. Did y'all have any questions maybe about any games that were at PAX, or about San Antonio, or the things that I did at PAX? Did you have any questions that I might be able to answer? We're going to start an actual video game soon, I swear. I didn't think I'd be talking for a whole hour. I'm going to get on Switch. I don't know how that's going to be on Switch. I wonder what the interface is like. Because if it can't be text-based then if it's going to be on Switch. Was this your first time going to San Antonio? No. I'd been to San Antonio for 2 PAX Sals before. The first of which I went with Rev and my girlfriend at the time, and Rev's fiance. And I ate a giant pickle, as some of you know, that my ex had bought for me at the gas station. It was called Big Poppy's Dill Pickle, Portly Pickle. And there's a video of it on YouTube. You can actually watch me drinking the pickle juice out of the baggie. And Rev, who interviewed some people and did some stuff, he fucked up the audio for half of it, so he replaced it with audio of me talking about this pickle and my impressions of the pickle. This is a real video on YouTube. If you search, I bet you could just search KY's pickle. Okay, maybe you can't just search KY's pickle, but you can search Vine Sauce KY pickle, and that will pull it up, or Rev KY pickle, and you'll see this great video of me drinking pickle juice against a green screen of Rev. in the hotel bathroom that smelled like pickle for the next 3 days. Not even kidding. Just from me drinking that pickle juice. I don't even know why I drank in the bathroom. I guess I didn't want to like make a mess in case I spilled it. Can we watch? It's like 5 minutes long. If you want to watch it, you can pop it on. I didn't know about the video until like Pam pointed it out and said that there's a pickle video. And I was like, how'd you know about? Oh, she said something like, why did you drink that pickle juice in the bathroom? I was like, how did you know about that? And she told me about this video, and I had no idea it existed. So I watched it, and it was pretty good. Sink pickles next too many games. I think I am gonna go to too many games this year. I regretted really deeply not going to too many games last year. So I'd like to go this year. But yeah, that was my PAX South experience. We're gonna switch games now. We're going to play Piku Niku, I think is how you say it. It's a new Devolver Digital published game that I got sent a key for, and I'm excited to play. I probably should have switched my tag to IRL before the stream. I didn't think I'd be talking for that long, but you know, here I am. So I will be right back.